This is Trust Me Property Exchange. What we're trying to do is look at the world where cryptos meet assets and assets meet cryptos. And a lot of our fundamental thinking is to repin our economies. We've looked at the fiat economies, we've looked at monetary policy, we're looking at fiscal policy, we've looked at the effects of quantitative easing. And the one realization we've come to is that property is the basis of a lot of wealth. And what we're looking at doing is using the property which we all own and have seen and we live in, part of our world, is to find a better way to use that in our economies. We've seen what happens when you have quantitative easing, kicking the can down the road. There's an aspect where eventually this road is running out now, and the tools and means by which national governments are treating our economies is causing some of the problems that are now going to rest on the shoulders of our kids and our grandkids. So we're actually trying to do something about that. We've looked at 2008, looked at the problems that caused, and we think we actually are onto something here where we can create a basis of a new economy called the Economy 2.0, which is based upon property and making sure that property trades cleanly and fairly without many people making claims to its ownership. And to do that, we've used the blockchain. One of the things that we're looking for the platform is we're there to get buyers and sellers to meet each other. And we're trying to create a more equitable system for everybody on both sides of the equation. We want to support the real estate market. We want them to sell more property faster. We want them to be able to offer equity release to the people who want to sell small parts of their houses and share the economic benefit of that process. We also want the banks to be able to participate in the process, but instead of doing large loans, they're actually doing much smaller loans to more people. So someone wishing to buy 51% of the property might only need 20% of the value of the property instead of 69%. And they can now move into the house. And that makes property ownership an attainable goal for the young. So we want the banks to be involved. We want the mortgage lenders to be involved. But equally, we want a more dynamic, competitive marketplace, which is the aspiration of many of the regulators. Transparency, competitiveness, open products, and liquidity on these exchanges. And the Trust Me property exchanges are designed to enable that marketplace for the benefit of the many. In the design of much of what we're doing, one of the things that we do anticipate is that where real-world assets, property, meets blockchain, and they become what we argue is cryptomized, with all the benefits of it and smart contracts and all the enablement, is it does offer the real opportunity. Don't forget, there's over 200 trillion worth of property out there, which could form a very stable way to create middle and long-term contracts. And we're very interested to explore that space in due course. The TPX exchange is a start of that process. It might not be the final answer. I don't have a crystal ball. We don't know exactly what the future holds, but we are trying to create something better. We think there's a social good in this. We think it's an enablement for older generation as well as the younger generation. And it's just a fairer system.